Hi everyone, it's Arlene with Design with Arlene. Today's card is this fun card made with some of the die cuts. It's got a fun reindeer on here, as well as this is the wrapped in plaid designer series paper that is in the holiday catalog. I'm making this card, but I'm going to make this, we're going to jazz it up a little bit. So this reindeer is going to be actually made out of the red glitter paper. So let me show you the stamp set that I'm using. This is from the Dashing Deer. I'm actually just going to be using the sentiments that are in here. This set happens to be in the annual catalog, so it's not in the holiday catalog that's out right now, which is good because this is available actually year-round, so it will be available through, I believe, June 2nd of next year, 2020, at least, if not further. This is a fun set, and I'll show you here in just a moment. I'm also using the coordinating dies that go with it. This is the Detailed Deer Thinlits dies. And that is where the reindeer comes from. And then I'm going to be using my trusty Stitched Shapes Thinlits die set. And this, there actually is just going to be, I'm using one of the squares from that particular set. And I'm also going to be using an embossing folder. So this is the Swirls and Curls, I believe is what it's called. But you can see how fun, see if that will show you the design in there. It's just really fun, and I'll show you that once I emboss it. But it, again, can be used year-round. I believe it came out first in a holiday catalog, and then they carried it through to the annual catalog. It went with, I think it was like Santa and his beard or something like that. But okay, so let me show you the paper that I'm going to be using in the dimensions here. So I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This is the base of the card. So it's the 8.5 by 11 that I cut in half at 5.5, and then I just folded it in the middle there. And I also have a piece of cherry cobbler, 2 different sizes, and I will have the dimensions again on my blog that it is available there, that you can kind of take a look and browse, and then you don't have to be stopping and replaying the video here. And then I also have a piece of the wrapped in plaid designer series paper. And this card, this time I'm going to be using this side. So you can see that it's double-sided, but I really liked that kind. I also have another piece of Whisper White cardstock as well that's smaller. So let me show you how it's actually going to be layered on. I'm going to take that larger piece of the cherry cobbler like that, and then I'll be layering on the designer series paper like this. And they're cut at 8-inch increments, so you see just a little bit of that larger size just peeking through. That's what I wanted for this particular card. And then I'm going to be taking the Whisper White piece and just layering over the cherry cobbler. And the next thing that I want to do is using both pieces of paper, and I just want to make sure that I get it really centered on there, because then I'm going to take the stitched square here, and I want to die cut it out. It's going to be above here toward the top, but then centered from left to right. And then just to make sure that it doesn't move when I run it through my Big Shot, I'm going to put, that's what this washi tape here is for. You can actually put even another piece if you want to. And then that way, when you lift it up, you run it through your Big Shot, it's not going to move around. So let me go get that cut out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got that cut out. It did cut out both pieces at once. And then just gently lift up that washi tape there. And you can see that I keep mine on if I'm making multiples, because that way it loses some of the stickiness. Okay, so there we have kind of a window here, you can see, but it also has the edges, so it's matted as well. Okay, so with this piece, this white Whisper White, I'm going to run this through the embossing folder to give it some dimension. So just layer that in there, and I will run this one through my Big Shot as well, and I will be right back. Okay, so we lift that up. And you can see what the embossing folder does to that. It's just, I love this. This is beautiful. It's really for all year round, but it just seems to, I think of it more during the holidays. So, all right. So next we're just going to layer this card and put it together. And like I said, with the paper being only cut an 1/8 of an inch bigger, sometimes you just make sure that you you don't have a lot of play room between, because it's so small, it's such a small difference. So just make sure that you get it nice and centered on to your larger piece of cardstock when you're gluing it down. And then this is going to go onto the base of the card, the white cardstock. All right, now, sometimes when you run it through and it has a big pattern like this, a more busy pattern, the fibers in the paper tend to break down a little bit. So you have to just be a little bit more careful. This makes the cardstock just not quite as sturdy. So just be careful when you're applying the glue on there, or you might even want to think about using a liquid glue. And that way you won't have to worry about it as much. And then when gluing this down, just make sure that you are lining it up on the inside there. So that way, if we get it just right, the red part should not show. Looks like I got just a little bit, but that's okay. All right, then I'm just going to adhere this piece onto the base of the card like this. Okay, now with the dies from that detailed deer set, I went ahead and took some of this red glitter paper and I cut out the reindeer. You see how beautiful that is? I just love the antlers, just so, and then the way it sparkles is beautiful. Love it. Then I've just got some Stampin' Dimensionals. See, there's just what I pulled out of in the drawer. So these are the black ones, and I used them a lot during more of the Halloween season, but not so much this. Now, when you're making this yourself, it would be a good idea to actually put the cut little parts of the Stampin' Dimensionals on the feet and some of the antlers too as well. And I'm just going to put that reindeer right over the card like this, right in the window. So you see that's got that little window in there. Isn't that beautiful? Let's see if I can bring that up to the camera here. See how it sparkles like that? Love it. Okay, so let's do the inside of the card too as well. So I have a little saying from the stamp set, and this just says happiest Christmas wishes, and I'm going to stamp that in the cherry cobbler. Okay, and then I also, in the garden green, let's see, what color is this? Nope, this is shaded spruce. I used the shaded spruce for this one. And this just has kind of a floral design. And that's going to go maybe straight. We'll see how well straight I get it on camera here. So a little bit crooked, but still, you get the idea. Nice and festive. So those two colors carry through to the color of the designer series paper that you had on the outside of the card. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you liked this card. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel. I also have a Facebook page, which I made in a different color, this reindeer, and I will have the link for it below in the show notes. So if you're interested in that, please check that out as well. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.